Now you should never do these two things here at setup, because if you do these two things, setting up to the golf ball, you're one, not going to be able to rotate, and two, you're going to make extremely poor contact quite a lot of the time. So let's dive into it and how to do it properly. So I'm Jonathan Chan with JChowngolf. Let's dive right into it. So, to explain this problem properly, let me go through a little story of one of my recent online lessons on SKILLEST. So, my student came to me, and he came to me, his first lesson, and he said he's really struggling with his ball striking, really hitting it pretty poor, and he's also massively struggling with distance. So pretty much everything that you could hit poor shot-wise, the ball's not going too far either. So I look at his swing, and he is massively sliding in the downswing. He's not really turning all too much in the backswing, but big slide. His whole dynamic movement of the good movements we want to see, stop through the golf ball, properly stalls out, and then flips those hands. So, seeing from there, I thought, okay, what's causing this to happen? Let me look at his setup. And he set up to the golf ball like this. See what's wrong there? You can see, okay, first thing, you're going to notice, I'm standing extremely narrow. So my feet are so close together here. So what is that going to cause? When we see golfers with an extremely narrow stance, we will see them massively struggle to rotate their body. So we will see them instead want to slide. When you're this narrow, it's not stable enough of a base for you to be able to turn and load and torque, do all those nice rotational things. So your body will more want to be inclined to slide across. So that was one big thing here. It's priming the body to do a movement we don't want to happen. So we want the lateral shift, but we don't want that to be the governing thing in our downswing, otherwise we're going to have a bad time. So that was one bit. Okay, we had that really narrow stance. What's the second bit here? Some of you may have already noticed. Feet are dead straight. Toes are pointing dead straight out in front of me. So a lot of you are thinking, what's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. If your feet are dead straight pointing in front, you are shutting off what your hip joints can do. So you are essentially closing those hip joints off, those capsules off. So now you can't turn all that much in your golf swing. Let me show you here. So I'm going to get into an impact position with dead straight feet. I'm going to get to there and you're going to see it doesn't look too great. So that's about as much as I can rotate into an impact position here. So really not that great, is it? Slightly open. I mean, I wouldn't be too displeased with that, but I feel a lot of discomfort and I've physically hit a wall. I can't rotate any more into that left hip. Watch what happens here when I do the opposite. Let me flare out that front foot. I'll flare out both feet, just for example. So, same thing. I'll show you. Rotate as much as I can into this impact position. Look how much more I can turn now. See, that is an incredible difference, isn't it? Incredible difference. Just because of what those feet have done. Me flaring out those feet has given me way greater range of motion of my hip turn. So, awesome. If you're struggling with rotation, of course you've got to do that. So what we did straight away, and this was really our main thing we did in our lesson, we just got that stance wider. So then we could support a little bit more of a stable base to be able to turn. And then of course, what did we do? Flare out those feet. So immediately, started hitting the ball a lot better. Immediately, started rotating more without even trying, because now we've got the capacity to do it. Even his backswing, he started getting more turn. Because tell you what, when you flare out that foot in the backswing, or for your right foot, your backswing, you get way more turn. Get way more turn without trying to get that turn too. So we saw a much bigger turn in that backswing, which again helped produce more power. And of course now, when we're turning that downswing, we haven't got this massively, or I wouldn't say massively with a word, that tiny narrow stance. Now we've got this wide stance with this nice flare in the feet. We can now support that rotation nicely. We've got the rotation because of that flare and our body can do it. So let's pull up a little side by side of me here. Let's hit one. So let's do one with a narrow stance, just so you convince you even more. So narrow stance, straight feet here. Let's have a look and see what I look like. So let's do that. No slow-mos come up yet because I'm putting them side by side. So here we go. Now, wider stance. So just outside shoulder width is the ideal. Flaring those feet out. So let's give this a go. Let's hit one and see side by side what one looks better. So how much better did that from front on look? Way different, so much better, so many better positions. But now let's have a look at that same swing, but from down the line. Now this is the eye-opening bit. Look how much more rotation I'm getting. I'm rotating so much more, the shot's more powerful. It's just gonna be a better and easier time. It's gonna be easier on the body as well. So for a lot of you out there who can't move massively athletically, tell you what, I can't either. Flaring out those feet with a wider stance helps hugely, hugely. We wanna be nicely turning our body here. We don't wanna be excessively sliding. So, ultimately, a little checkpoint here before we end it, because there's no massive drill to do for this. This is just a reminder. Get yourself into a place where you can turn and you can rotate by your setup. You don't have to feel anything here. You don't have to go and do a drill. Set your body up to do it right. So just outside of shoulder width, I always like the classic, you know, you've got your 2 feet together. I've got an 8-iron out here, so it's gonna be roughly middle of the stance. Equal step, fairly big with both legs. Boom, that's a nice wide stance there. And just for a little reminder, just give those feet a little bit of a flare. Feel quite crazy with it to start off with. Nothing wrong with making it feel crazy. See, it looks like I'm a frog, doesn't it? It's fine, it's fine. Just go with it. So now I'm gonna hit the ball. Rotation just becomes easy, So why a lot of you struggle to get that nice dynamic move because you're set up terrible to the golf ball. Once you get your setup right, it becomes so much easier. So if you enjoyed this video, of course, click that like button. For more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So wider stance, flare out the feet. You have to do it. If you don't, you're gonna play bad. So guys, we're in the depths of winter. What do we need to do? We need to improve our golf game, and how you can do that is with lessons with myself on SKILLEST, so one-to-one lessons. So online lessons are incredibly effective to be able to improve your golf swing, more so, in my opinion, than in-person lessons. To the extent that's all I do other than YouTube videos right now. So over 1,500 lessons I've given. I'll put a little thing down here of all the reviews as well, so you can see how effective they really are, and I'll put a link in the description so you can check out my coaching profile from there. So if you want one-to-one coaching with me, plenty of options to choose from and how to do that. You can certainly do that, and let's us two here get your golf game better for the season to come up. You won't regret it.